one very easy way to screw things up is to bounce things improperly or export your audio improperly. It's important to give people what it is that they ask for, whether it's a client, a teacher, your friend, whatever. You want to make sure that you give them the audio in the proper format and proper sample rate and all that. So let's take a look at Pro Tools and just go over this real fast. I've got this little commercial here for Kraft salad dressing.
Kraft has remixed salads.
So I've got it all finished up, and I want to make sure that I now export this audio into an audio file that can be recognized by iTunes or Windows Media Player or whatever. So the only thing that I really have to do is decide how long this is going to be, really. So I like to get in the habit of just highlighting what it is that I'm going to be bouncing. And I use the word bouncing interchangeably with exporting because in Pro Tools, that's what it's called. Go to File in the taskbar up here and then Bounce to Disk. And all these options come up. Now, some of them might be correct on your Pro Tools system just by default, but for all the purposes of this class, we want to make sure our file type is an MP3. Your format should be interleaved. That is when you're bouncing the entire project. If you're, say, up in Studio A and just bouncing a voiceover performance or something, you would want to change that to mono summed. But if this is the finished product, interleaved, MP3, sample rate of 44.1 because that's CD standard audio. And then all we have to do is make sure that we name it something that makes sense and that we're saving it somewhere that makes sense. So if you're the kind of person that likes to keep track of everything really well, which you should be, organization is good, you can select where this is going to go. By default, Pro Tools always puts things into a bounced files folder within your project session. So Best Kid Commercial Project, it automatically creates this bounced files folder for me, and will place things there by default unless I change things and say to put it on the desktop, which is what I'll do this time. So all that stuff is right. If I check the offline button, that means the exporting process or the bouncing process will not take place in real time, so it will go faster. So this is a good thing. Instead of having to actually listen to your entire 60-second commercial as it exports, you can do things offline. So I recommend doing that. Hit bounce. If you need to add any other information here, some sort of metadata for a tag, not really going to be something we're concerned with here, but if you were working with an artist and this was an album and you wanted to have track information and so forth, that's how you would do it. Boom. And that's it. If I look at my desktop, here it is. I have an MP3, and if I get the info about it, you can see that it's an MP3 file. You can see the sample rate, and you can see the length. So those are all things that I'm going to be looking for when you turn in these projects. So hopefully this clears up some things about bouncing and exporting audio in Pro Tools. See you later.